Our story begins with Jill, a wealthy married woman who just received a bouquet of flowers. Her husband Bernard notices the flowers and asks her about them. Jill had no idea who sent them. Then Bernard reads the accompanying note aloud and immediately accuses her of cheating. A heated argument erupts between them, during which Bernard mentions that he's leaving for a flight in 2 hours for work. Jill is taken aback, claiming he never mentioned any trip, but Bernard insists he told her the day before, and accuses her of never listening to him. However, while Bernard is leaving, he tells Jill that his friend Lester will be stopping by to pick up an important folder. Then he storms out, leaving Jill frustrated and confused. Later that day, Jill speaks with the flower delivery man, hoping to find out who sent the mysterious bouquet. However, the delivery man refuses to disclose the sender's identity. Shortly after, Lester arrives at Jill's house, drenched from the rain and holding yet another bouquet of flowers. He asks if she received the flowers he ordered for her in the morning, and apologizes for any confusion. Jill invites him inside and offers him a drink to warm up. As she prepares to retrieve the green folder for Lester, he secretly slips a sleeping powder into her drink. While trying to hide the evidence, the empty packet slips from his hand, unnoticed by him. When Jill returns with the folder, she questions Lester about the flowers. He confesses that he's in love with her for a long time, but she firmly rejects his advances. Trying to maintain her composure, Jill tells him they will pretend as if nothing had happened. But as she stands, she suddenly collapses. Lester carries the unconscious Jill to the bedroom and undresses her. The next morning, Bernard bursts into the room, recording everything on his phone. He reveals that he never left and had been waiting outside the house all night to catch Jill with her supposed lover. Bernard coldly tells Jill to hire a divorce lawyer and concoct a compelling story to cover her shame before leaving. After Bernard's departure, Jill notices the empty packet of sleeping powder on the floor. Just then, there's a knock on the door. It's the flower delivery man again. Confused, Jill asks him if he's sure the flowers were meant for her, as she had already received a bouquet the previous day. The delivery man accidentally slips up and reveals that the sender of both bouquets was in fact Bernard. Grateful for the information, Jill hands him a $100 tip. Determined to uncover the truth, Jill goes to Lester's home. She surprises him by saying she enjoyed what happened and suggests they get married after her divorce from Bernard. However, Lester refuses, stating that Bernard is his friend. Jill tells him to think it over and asks for a glass of water. While Lester is in the kitchen, Jill seizes the opportunity to switch Bernard's number in Lester's phone with her own, then leaves as if nothing had happened. After Jill's dismissal, Lester sends a voice message to Bernard, explaining what had transpired. He mentions that their arrangement was for him to seduce Jill so that Bernard could gain financially from the divorce. Lester assures Bernard that he followed through with the plan, including putting sleeping powder in Jill's drink, which made her sleep like a dead. The next day, Bernard's lawyer demands that Jill pay moral compensation and surrender all her assets. However, Jill interrupts and plays Lester's voice message for everyone in the room to hear. Then they got shocked. As Bernard tries to flee, a detective, whom Jill had already contacted, apprehends him. Desperate Bernard attempts to blame everything on Lester, claiming he was innocent. But Jill calmly reveals that Lester had already confessed to the authorities. As Jill leaves the room, Bernard begs for her forgiveness, but she coldly refuses. And with that, our story comes to an end. Please like, share, and subscribe for more stories like this one.